everybody, it's Charlie from DM Sound, and today we've got the sound system demo on the 2025 Acura ADX and its top-level 15-speaker Bang & Olufsen audio system. This is going to be an in-depth review. We're going to take a look at how the infotainment system works, take a look at audio inputs, adjustments, controls, speaker locations. We're going to test out the 5.1 capabilities, and then we're going to head out on the road and listen to these sample tracks while we're rolling, and I'll give you my thoughts at the end. Now, if you don't care about any of that stuff at the beginning and you just want to hear the music, click ahead in the video. We've got chapters to get you right to the tunes. And I recommend listening with headphones so you can hear exactly what I hear in the driver's seat. But before we get started, let's hop out and take a look at it. An entirely new model from Acura, the ADX. This one is a subcompact crossover. Essentially, it takes a Honda HR-V and an Acura Integra, marries them together with a 1.5-liter turbocharged engine, optional all-wheel drive, and a remarkable amount of interior space despite its subcompact status. So if you do want to see more on the ADX, check the link below. I've got a first drive review over at the Topher, and you can find that linked below. Now, we always do these tests with lossless, uncompressed WAV files on a USB stick plugged directly into the system, and high-quality Roland binaural microphones in both of my ears, giving you the most realistic audio system demo on YouTube. We also do the test with the sound settings set to their factory defaults. So let's take a look at those now. This top-level A-Spec Advanced model gets a Google-based infotainment system. Let's see if the brightness is all the way up real quick. See if I can't make that a little bit easier to see here. No, it looks like it's all the way up. Okay, so head home and then go to USB. This is the USB screen, and then up on the top right we have sound settings. First, we're greeted with Bassonic tone and surround. Instead of doing a traditional treble mid-range bass EQ, like most cars, Bang & Olufsen had chosen to sort of translate what those mean into maybe terms that are a little bit more general to a non-audio enthusiast audience. So we've got bright, energetic, warm, and relaxed. And then as you sort of move them, or if you look very, very closely, you can see this means more treble, this means more bass, this means less treble, and this means less bass. So let's go through it, and I'll try to maximize each of those four areas. So this would be all treble, medium bass, no treble, medium bass, all bass, medium treble, and no bass, medium treble. I understand their thought process on this. Unfortunately, that makes it so we don't have any sort of mid-range adjustment. So I'd prefer to maybe have this, but then have an optional advanced screen where you could get a 5 or a 9-band equalizer. Then over here you have surround level. This is going to create more of an artificial sound to the music, make it a little bit more enveloping, and then also activate these roof speakers. Let's go through those. This is stereo, and we'll go up to 3D. Some people might choose to have that on. They might enjoy it. However, I know it's not intentional to have that on, because if you have it up and you mess this all up and everything and you hit reset to default, it brings it back to stereo. So that's more of how the audio engineers intend the system to sound. Coming back, going down to center and roof speaker volume, you can individually adjust how much of this center speaker right here and these roof speakers go to work. So let me actually come back and move the track back into the middle here. Very responsive screen, I like that. So right now, I guess we're getting a little bit of sound here. I'll turn it all the way down and then all the way up. Oh, sorry, that's the center speaker. Speaker volume was much more subtle, but it is nice that they gave us the control over those other speaker areas. If you just wanted a pretty basic stereo system, you'd get this right here. And then here's all the way in the other direction. I actually think I like that quite low, but we'll keep it at default for most of this testing. Then below that, you have audio zones and a front, rear, left, right fader and balance. This is kind of strange. Sometimes we see audio modes in cars where it focuses the sound on either the driver or the passenger or the rear or the front. This actually disables the speakers in the other parts. So This makes it so only the driver speakers are on, or only the front, or only the rear. I could see the purpose of that for certain, maybe if you got kids sleeping in the back, you just want to hear a little bit of sound up here, talk radio or something, but it's not like one of those that actually times the music and optimizes the sound for the driver's seat. And then you have speed compensated volume controls. As you get going faster, the volume's going to increase to make up for wind, engine, and road noise. And that's it for audio adjustments here in the ADX. For audio controls, you've got a nice volume knob, good clicks, easy enough to grab. You also have volume clickers on a clicker on the left side of the steering wheel. For track selection, you've got physical controls under the volume knob. You can use the touch screen if you're in the proper menu, and you've got physical controls over on the left by the volume. For audio inputs in the ADX, you have your standard AM, FM, Sirius XM satellite radio. I should confirm that. I take that back. You actually don't have an Sirius XM satellite radio. You could install the Sirius XM satellite radio app because this is an Android automotive-based system, but it's not built in natively to the car. Okay, now because it is Android automotive-based, though, you can install a lot of different apps like Spotify or Amazon Music or something like that. And you've got Alexa built in, it looks like already. Support for wired and wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, USB-C port, and Bluetooth support. So what does that mean you're missing? Like I said, no Sirius XM, no 3.5mm auxiliary input jack, no USB-A port, so make sure you have an adapter if you're using USB. And other than that, looks like about all you're going to need. Let's get back to our USB here. Speaker locations. As I said, this is a 15 speaker system. Starting in the bottom left, you've got a door woofer 1, mid-ranger 2, tweeter 3, center unity speakers, so that means we got 4, 5, tweeter and mid-ranger, 6, 7, 8 on the other side. Up in the roof, 9, 10. Those are sort of mid-ranger speakers, 44mm. And then 11, 12, tweeter, mid-ranger, 13, 14 on the other side. Coming into the cargo area, we have a subwoofer, as well as the amplifier. Subwoofer right there, giving us 15. I believe that's a 244mm speaker. I'll put all the speaker specs right here. Before we head out on the road, let's test out the 5.1 capabilities using the immersiveaudioalbum.com test track. Most people don't listen to 5.1 audio, but some do, and they might want to know how it mixes.
Welcome to the Immersive Audio Album Channel Configuration Test. Left. Center.
Ooh.
Right.
I think it might be 5.1.
Left surround.
Hey, look at that.
Right surround.
That's proper 5.1 audio right there. It's been a while since I've been in a car that actually gives us full proper 5.1. So, kudos. And with that, let's head out on the road. strong system. It really powerful, nice bass hits. I'm disappointed just slightly with the noise in the mid-range. You can hear something like this. It's a bit sloppy in those upper mid-range where the guitar's hanging out, where a lot of it's just where a lot of instrumentation and vocals typically happen. Part of it, I do think, is because of the noise here. If we turn the music down for a second, this concrete highway. It's not loud, but there's extra intrusion, especially coming from the rear doors, that the system has to fight against. And that's, again, the frequency kind of right in the middle there that muddies things. So you might have an experience where you test the system out with some of your favorite music static at a dealership or at slower speeds, and you're like, wow, this sounds incredible. Because that happened to me too. You'll hear, if you click down in the link below, I've got a little unlisted link of me listening to some of our members only tracks to evaluate the system. We were on paved road, going slower, it sounded amazing. Here, still sounds good, but it's fighting more of that general noise. And that's why we test at highway speeds rather than lower. It's kind of a worst case scenario, and it's where a lot of people spend time listening to their music. But for this next track, we'll turn the bass all the way up, see what we get. the 15-speaker B&O system here in the new Acura ADX. It's a high-quality system, it really is, and it's not something we often see at this price point. Some of you may have seen my review of the B&O systems in the new Acura MDX, and I liked them, but I wasn't blown away. However, the sound system in this ADX, along with the rest of this car, provides a luxury experience in a smaller form factor. So this system really isn't that far off of the A-spec version of the system that you get in the MDX. But this is at a much lower price point. So really, it is quite impressive. Now, earlier on in my testing, I was using some kind of medium bitrate music as I was driving through the mountains and sort of getting my initial evaluation on the sound system. Really wasn't that impressed with it, getting a lot of muddiness in the mid-ranges. Then, when I used the uncompressed, high-quality, members-only tracks on Amazon Music HD, and I was using these uncompressed tracks here on my test drive, things sounded a lot better. So when you really allow the system to stretch its legs, it does have a lot of capability to it. I just think there's something about maybe the placement of these mid-rangers down here, as well as the Unity speaker in the center. I'm not super loving those mid-ranges, but highs are crisp, really powerful driving force down in the lows, and objectively speaking, against all vehicles, I'm gonna say high B+. Very, very close, 89%, just barely knocking on the door of A tier. Now, for the price point, the fact it's a $45,000 vehicle, that's a solid A tier system. Very happy with it. Would happily listen to it day in, day out, all sorts of music. Very nicely done, and probably class leading. It's hard for me to 100% say that without getting in and out of each and every vehicle in this class, back and forth. But I can tell you it's better than the BMW. I can tell you it's better than the Lexus. And the only one that I'd really have to test maybe is the Audi, with a very similar B&O system. And the Mercedes. I think it's better than... is it better than the Burmester? That's tough. Very different sound characteristic from the Burmester. But that one's a little too close to call. So thank you all so much for watching. If you do want to see more on the new ADX, check the link below. And we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from DM Sound, and as always,